During the early part of the 20th century, there occurred a unique event in the spiritual history of modern India. In the remote village of Sridham Mayapur, on the banks of the sacred Ganga in West Bengal, there resided a distinguished personality who would, in due course, do more to help raise the consciousness of human civilization than that of any other person of his time. On March the 7th, 1918, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, adorning the saffron robes of a mendicant, accepted the renounced order of life Tridandi Sannyas. He then raised the clarion call of Sri Krishna Sankirtan at Sridham Mayapur with Kartala Mridanga, that would eventually be heard in every town and village around the world. In so doing, Saraswati Thakur brought attention to the deep spiritual teachings of Krishna consciousness. He issued a universal challenge of totalitarian war against all philosophical and theistic misconceptions that cover the true identity of the soul. In the teachings of Saraswati Thakur, the only thing lacking in this material world is Krishna consciousness. The only real welfare work to be done is the distribution of Krishna consciousness, the prime benediction for humanity at large. The achievements of power, wealth, and fame are all temporary and lead to the perpetual suffering of the soul in the cycle of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement, started by Saraswati Thakur from Sridham Mayapur, was the revival of the original Krishna Sankirtan movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the 15th century. Through his preaching, Saraswati Thakur attracted to his mission many sincere members of the intelligentsia and social elite of Bengal. Together with his disciples, Saraswati Thakur led a second renaissance of the Krishna consciousness movement, establishing temples, defeating opposing philosophies, recruiting thousands of converts to the doctrine of divine love, and publishing ancient and modern spiritual texts in periodicals, books, and newspapers, and distributing them throughout India and abroad. From the time of his accepting Tridandi Sannyas in 1918 until his departure from this world in 1937, his mission, known as the Gaudiya Math, flourished under his guidance. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada was born in Orissa at Jagannath Puri on February 6, 1874, as the seventh child of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srimati Bhagavati Devi. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a government official and was in charge of the Jagannath temple in Puri. In his spiritual life, Bhaktivinoda was a great pioneer of the Krishna consciousness movement. At the time when the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had all but been lost or distorted by unscrupulous persons, such as the Saki beggars, Bhaktivinoda began publishing numerous papers, journals and books, establishing the pure teachings of Sri Chaitanya. By his personal character, he restored dignity to the Gaudiya Vaishnava community. Bhaktivinoda prayed fervently to Lord Jagannath to kindly send him someone who would be capable of preaching the message of Sri Chaitanya. Upon the birth of his seventh child, Bhaktivinoda realized after observing a series of divine events that his newborn son was indeed the answer to his prayers. Accordingly, Bhaktivinoda named his son Bimala Prasad, meaning the mercy of Lord Jagannath, or one who revealed to the world the pastimes of the